Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to the daily update on my 1000 days challenge. This is day 84, so let's get things started. First and foremost, you'll notice there's a small increase in terms of the daily balance. That's due to the experimental trade setup. You'll see the breakdown over here. The experimental trade setup is still contributing to the bulk of the losses, or actually all of the losses at negative 664. So there's something to bear in mind. And with that in mind, I'm still in a position in terms of long, in terms of Bitcoin. So that's still something I'm sticking with. I'm still doing a trailing stop loss in that perspective. Okay, so in terms of a quick market update, you'll notice that the market structure mainly remained the same except for S&P 500, which has actually transited to very nice small little bullish market structure. However, because it by itself, I would actually think that it's bullish, but very big but, because okay, so firstly I state the bullish stand. The bullish stand is because not only does it form a bullish market structure, it very nicely found support in the 20 exponential moving average on the daily chart, which so happens to be also over here where it found support as well, and just recently also found resistance when it broke down. So now it's finding support the second time, so I'm very leaning towards the upside. When you look in terms of price action, you see it very nicely not willing to close below the 20 exponential moving average on the daily. So that's somewhat a bullish sign. So I potentially could re-look into my portfolio because every month I do allocate a small portion into it. So if it does reach a certain amount, then I will actually accumulate and buy in terms of dollar cost averaging approach. So S&P 500 is something of interest to me right now. All right, and so the issue is that with Nasdaq, even though Nasdaq similarly maintained the price above this 20 exponential moving average on the daily chart, I'm not that bullish because it's more or less flat still, rather than bouncing up nicely strong. You look in terms of price action wise, still in terms of red candles, even though it's supportive in that stance. And more so happen if you notice the MACD actually triggered down to negative, but a single bearish transition is not that significant in that sense. And also because Nasdaq has been like overbought for the past few months, have overextended in that sense. All right, but otherwise, yeah, I would most likely be adding at the very most S&P 500 ASHR because it's accumulating very nicely above resistance. And now I would say instead of calling it resistance, I'll call it actually as support. So it's a good thing. And for KWEB, similarly, is finding support at the 20 exponential moving average on the daily chart. So that's something where I could potentially be adding as well. All right, but more interestingly for Bitcoin, I'm leaning towards further bullish momentum. Like what I mentioned, I entered over here and I'm still sticking to this trade. And how far this thing will go, I really do not know, especially when the amount of key resistances are running short as it can pass through the 14K, then very much there's a very large gap from 14K to 16K where there is like an uncharted territory for a very long time since 2017, whereby it was only there for a very short period of time whereby there was a lack of interested buyers. So, and instead there was a lot of sellers over the region. So in fact, price didn't stay in this region for a very long time. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see retest over this region. Doesn't mean that we're going to break to new all-time high this year. I personally think it's up to anybody guess. That say we have a really strong bullish run so far. So I do see potentially we could face some sort of a strong retracement as well. Yeah, you can see over here, it was a very strong run, and then you get a very strong run down, and then a very strong medium strong up, and then a medium strength going, strong strength going down as well. So this is something to bear in mind. Just because it's going up all the way, I do not know where it is, but if it does show some sort of consolidation and a clear break like this, is where I could cleanly take my profit over here. Yeah, so even though that's the risk behind it. All right, but more interestingly, on the 4-hourly chart, things are looking really good in that sense. I'm still waiting for the 20 exponential moving average to catch up. In the meantime, I have a trailing stop loss in the sense, so I would say, it wouldn't say a fixed trailing stop loss. I would say it's a mental trailing stop loss that if it does close below this region of 12,600, that is where I would potentially close my remainder of my position or leave maybe just 20% to trail if there's a very strong support. Otherwise, I would likely very much close my remaining of my position as well. So yeah, that's basically about it. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. See you. Bye-bye.